It's up to your freedom, but there's a consequence. Everything has a consequence. This is the problem. I have the freedom to go and sleep with 5 women I want. I have the freedom, but there's a consequence. I have the freedom to do, I can go and take a knife and kill anyone, but there's a consequence. Everything I have a freedom, but there's a framework. This is what God is saying. Yes, God has created you. God created man and woman and given them the freedom. God did not make you as a robot. He said, listen, I created you in my image. I put my image inside of you, but still you have the freedom because I have given you, and He has given you the consequence of doing what is right. When you do right, you get the blessing. When you do something wrong, you get the curse. That's the consequence.
You can't choose what to say. You're back and forth constantly.
So what do you want to say? Come here, sir.
Why do I want to speak to you on the microphone?
You don't want to speak, but you want to just shout from there. Let me speak. Let's speak. Let's have a good conversation. Let's have a good conversation, sir. What exactly you want to say, sir?
So what are the consequences of all of this, sir?
First of all, I want you to tell me what exactly you stand for, because I don't know. Because consequences, there are so many. I can read the whole Bible the whole day.
First of all, I'm not religious. Yeah. So Jesus coming here. Well, Jesus has already been and gone, mate. Let's be honest. First of all, and why are you saying that you can only be one way or the other way when, as you just said, we have the freedom to choose? If someone wants to be gay, they can be gay, correct? Can they be gay if they wish to be gay?
You want to say something? I'm just listening to you.
No, I'm asking you a question.
I'm going to respond when you finish.
That's why I finish. Can you be gay? Are you allowed to be gay under God's eyes?
I just explained to you. We all have the freedom to do whatever we want. But I just said to you, everything that we do has a ripple effect.
But is it okay to be in your eyes?
I don't. It's not about my eyes. It's about what I stand for. I'm here to preach the word of God. My eyes are what I think is regardless of anything. Because when I stand before God,
so what does God think?
I read the word of God. The word of God says. That's what I'm saying.
So what does He think?
Do you want me to say it?
Yes.
You want me to share that? Okay. The word of God says either you are created in the image of God as a male or as a female.
Okay. So why can't we change that then?
You can change. God did not change.
You can change.
You can do whatever you want to do. But the problem is, there's no argument. That's
the point of it.
The
if
point.
You can change. Then why are you?
If you can change, hold on. If you can change, God did not want you to change in that way. You want to change your own way.
But you can.
You can. That's why I said I can do anything I want. I can walk upside down. I can do anything I want here. But that's not the point. It's about what God, who has defined the things. I gave you an example before. You heard the example.
You do me a favor. You do me a favor. Can you walk upside down right now?
Why do you want me to walk upside down?
Because you said you could.
I had the freedom to do it.
You have the freedom to do it. So why don't you do it?
I don't want to do it because I know I'm not being created to walk upside down. Biologically, I'm not created to walk upside down. There's a definition of a human being who walks like that. I had the freedom, I said.
No, you didn't.
I said I had the freedom.
No, you didn't.
I think that I think you need to listen.
I can walk upside down.
I said I had the freedom to do
You said
that.
I can go and I can walk upside
That's the
down.
freedom I have.
So why don't you do it?
I don't want to do it because I know that's not the that's not the freedom. See, I gave you an example. Did you hear my argument of talking about when you have the freedom to drive on a road, even though
Don't touch me first.
did you hear that first of all, sir?
About breaking the law by speeding.
No, about having a freedom of owning your car.
Yeah.
You have your car, you have your petrol, which you have all is yours.
Yep.
And then you came one day and say, listen, even though it's 20, but I have the freedom, I'm going to just drive 50 miles an hour. I have the freedom.
You want to know why I drive 20 miles an hour and 20 mile an hour?
Why?
Because first of all, it's safe, and it's a high street. I don't really want to run people over, first of all. And second of all, these are laws that have been put in place by a government, not God, first of all. If God wanted us to speed, He would have put it in the fucking Bible, wouldn't He?
So what you are trying to say is, you're okay with the laws which is defined by a government to keep the community safe.
Yes. Yes, I want the community to be safe.
Right. Can you bring the same logic? The same logic.
The same logic.
Your government is using certain laws to keep the community safe.
Yes.
God keeps the laws for humanity so that they will be safe.
So if somebody is transgender, if somebody is gay, if somebody is doing something that is not in God's eyes, does that make anyone unsafe? Or is it just someone exercising their own rights to be who they want to be, full stop. Yeah? Or does it affect you? Does it make you upset? Does it make your life worse because somebody wants to be who they want to be? Not because they're going to go out and be a donkey. Not
I don't care less whatever they want to do. I don't care less tomorrow. The thing is, I am here to preach what the Word of God says. For you to live in your lifestyle, you can do whatever you want in your bedroom. You can walk naked, you can walk upside down, you can do whatever, you can kiss anyone, you can do anything you want. I don't care less. But what I'm here to do is to preach the Word of God, what God says, according to what God has defined, according to the moral laws, according to the biological laws, according to the definition of a logical everything.
No such thing as a biological law.
There's nothing.
There is no such thing as a biological law. If someone wants to be something because they want to be it, look, I'm a straight white male. I have literally no authority, if I'm honest. I'm probably the lowest ranked person to be standing here, right? But I understand that if someone wants to do something with their life, they can do it, and they don't need you standing in the middle of a high street talking absolute BS because you think it's the right thing to do. If someone wants to follow the Lord's word, they will go do it in their own time. They do not need you standing out here making absolutely ridiculous arguments. Is anyone here on this man's side? Is anyone?
I don't want anybody to come to my side. It's about the Word of God. See, I'm not here to take sides or bring people to my side. I'm here to proclaim what the Word of God says. See, all what you say.
Don't care anymore.
See,
if anyone here was going to ever think that they were going to go towards a religious side, they don't want to now.
There's no religion here. It's about. See, for you, it's a religion because it doesn't make sense to you.
What is the Bible? Is it a religious book?
The Bible is the Word of God, which is given as a guideline to mankind under the religion. Under the religion for your definition.
Or Christianity or Catholicism.
Thousands of years old, man. Don't diss it.
I ain't got a problem. I've not got a problem with it.
So the problem is how we interpret according to what we want. See, I just mentioned very clearly. He wants to bring an argument. I brought a clear argument, and he brought an argument which he cannot respond to his own argument, with his argument that you brought before. What did you bring? What were you saying before when I brought about the example of the road and the car?
That I wouldn't break the law.
You said it's okay for the government to bring a law and then we obey that law because it will harm the community. But it's not okay for me to obey the Word of God, and God has given a God and the guidelines so that it will harm each other as an individual, as a collective, as a community. But we don't want to obey that, but we can obey with a government's law. How does it make sense?
Well, the government also says do not murder, do not rape, do not speed, do not rob other people. I actually believe that. Is there anywhere in the Bible that they say don't kill other people?
Where did the law of this land came saying do not murder? Where did they get from?
Probably just common decency.
Common decency. So where did the common decency come from?
From people.
So murder is it murder? Murdering, is that okay?
No. Of course murder.
How do you know is that okay?
Because you wouldn't take someone else's life.
So where do you get that law from?
Because it's common sense, first of all.
Common sense.
Common sense. Also, I'm just not an idiot, and I know that murder's not good, and it's probably going to put me in jail for a while. I don't really want to do it. I don't really want to rape anybody. I don't really want to commit any crimes. It's not something that...
So how do you know is that a crime?
Because it's a crime.
Can you see your own intellectual knowledge, your conscience says common sense. Where do you get the common sense from?
Yeah, as this gentleman just said, just social norms are being brought up around good people.
Brought up around good people. So why do we have bad things happening when there's good people around?
Because there's bad people.
Exactly. So there is something defines what is good and bad.
What?
You just said there's good people and there's bad people.
Yes.
There's something defining good and bad.
Well, if you do bad things, then you're probably a bad...
My question is, how do you know that is good for you? It's a bad thing, might be a good thing for somebody else. it's subjective, something.
Being subjective around certain things, sure, but if we're talking about murder, which is the subject that we're around, do you agree that murder is bad?
Because it's in the Word of God, I of course agree. In the Ten Commandments say, thou shalt not murder.
So,
The government of this country, the laws of this country was based in this. You need to go and study a history, my friend. The Word of God was first in this country. 500 years ago, it was written in English, this Word of God.
when I was young, I was in a Catholic school, right? And this is the reason I can't stand this book, because it's forced down the throats of every single person in these schools around these places. All the kids are forced to learn hymns and everything like that, or learn the Bible, and I was absolutely sick of it, right? I can't deal with this anymore.
So if you don't like the Bible, you should go and murder and rape and kill and do all the stuff, because the Word of God has already defined the laws of God is in your conscience.
Just because I don't read the Bible doesn't mean I'm going to go.
It's in your conscience. It's in your conscience. That is why you cannot go and harm someone, because you know in your conscience it's not good to do something.
How is me not agreeing with the Bible making me a bad person?
Sorry, I was distracted.
Just because I don't read the Bible.
You don't have to read the Bible, sir. It's in your conscience. You just said it doesn't make sense to harm someone. It's in your conscience. You know, that's why you don't go and do, even though you don't. So you didn't know all this time it was in the Bible. The murder was, you didn't know all this. Exactly. But you knew inside your heart that it's not good. It's in your conscience. That's why God has put His laws in your conscience.
How did it do anything?
You don't know because you don't know God. When you don't know God, you are unaware. That's the Bible says. We have been blinded. We have been blinded. Yes, sir. What do you want to say?
Plants actually can change gender depending on the type of year to reproduce. So is for example, an oak tree changing gender against all prices to our up? Yes.
We do not need to hear it. You have the right. You do not have the right to preach it in such a loud volume that is offensive to so many people.
You are being offensive to me.
No, you're not. You're being offensive to everyone here. You're trying to.
Do you want to talk to me, or you want to just come and say what you want me to?
You're trying to rattle up the crowd here, right?
What do you want to say? If you want to say something, just say and just walk past. I'm going to preach. I'm going to preach. That's it. If you don't like what I'm saying, you can just walk past. You can just walk past if you don't want.
No,
I did not call you here. I did not force you. I did not force
me to come over and
yeah, I invited you to have a proper, decent conversation.
Have a conversation.
Right. So you don't have to do that. You don't have to do
On your
that.
own time.
You don't have to do that because your heart is responding. Your heart says who you are. Your heart says who you are. So what is your point, sir? You want to say something? Right. Like if you want to say something, have a proper conversation. I'm going to give you another couple of minutes.
I gave you a proper conversation.
Right, that's done. So I'm going to carry on preaching. Is that okay? I don't want. I don't anything for TikTok. Right now, I want to say something important. As many young people are here, what is your purpose? Sorry, don't do that. It's on the record. What is God? It's on the record. My friend, excuse me. My friend.
Very bad, very bad.
This is how you become worse than an animal. Even the animal behaves in a normal way. You see cousin dogs behave in a normal way. I He just demonstrated who he is now. He just now demonstrated about why we need the Word of God. He just demonstrated. He just demonstrated about why we need the Word of God. It's so important because you behave insane. You want to harm someone, you want to be offensive by destroying somebody else's property. Because when you don't know the Word of God,